Hi, Nicola and Unique. I'm going to look at your work. Let's see. Okay, one thing I suggested is that instead of using live trace, you get in there and use the pen tool to actually draw the features. And the reason why is the form is just sort of a little more blobby than you might see with Nike. Nike is all about celebrating the human body, especially with athletes. So you want to get in there and be a little more precise, really get some muscles in there, really show that sort of detail. And then I would also make sure I showed the feet because it is Nike. You don't want just like a generic foot. They want to sell those sneakers. You want to show the sneakers. All right. Otherwise, I like this bullet points. I don't think that this is an information graphic. See page 2. Again, it's sort of bullet points, and these don't look like sneakers. So really get in there. And also reconsider the dark blue behind the black. If you blur your eyes just a little bit, it creates a unified shape. And that might sound silly to do, but when you're printing on paper that isn't like the finest of the fine paper, that's what happens. The colors kind of, if they're even close, they sort of blend together. So it's a beautiful layout, but I think you need to add more. Like, how is it teaching me anything? The illustration is just decorative. Are there any facts or figures you can put in there? For example, if you look at other students' work, you can see with this one, she's trying to teach the viewer in a real simple way. She's got people and she talks about people. She's got a bar chart. It talks about, growth. There's a pie chart down here. That sort of thing. That's what an information graphic is. It teaches something. It's not just like a PowerPoint. So again, I like the design, but it's not teaching me anything visually. All right, so Unique, let me look at your work. This is teaching me something. This one in particular is bringing me through a timeline in a real creative way. I can go bam, 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 bam. But, as far as design is concerned, I wonder, okay, so this is a JPEG and that's why the that's why the graphics look a little blurry. I would just tighten it up. It's a little long. I think you can do a better job with this font. You can find a more decorative font. In fact, you might want to consider all caps. I would make the canvas a little higher so that the type isn't too close to the top. Also consider putting in a couple sentences that introduces the graphic. And then just tighten it up. You might want to make it, a little less wide. You can bring all this in. You can help the viewer think about how they're reading it. And then finally, just be consistent with spacing. So also I'm wondering if this is the same size. Tail tweak, is that the same size as the white wave? At first glance, it doesn't look like it is. So be consistent. So for example, you've got right over here, it looks like 3 centimeters from the green. Over here, a little shorter. Over here, it almost touches it. And then over here, it almost touches it as well. So be as tight as possible. Over here, the same ideas. You can really turn this into an information graphic by numbering it. So I'm wondering what these things are. Let me see. Okay, so can you read that easily on my screen? And if your answer is no, do you think it will work on cheap paper? And the answer is also no. So consider, I'm wondering what the circle is. Is it like an inverse sort of bottle cap, or you don't want to put things in just for decoration's sake. Infographics have a tendency to be pretty direct, and if there's anything graphic about them, they have a purpose. All right. So that brings me over here again. So I just realized this is sort of a swirly shape, but it's an arrow. Consider actually using that Coca-Cola shape. Just rotate it and maybe put an arrow on the end of it. Anyway, so back to this one. Consider numbering it. Make it more like an information graphic. If it's a timeline, a number will bring you through it. If The other thing is you've got tons of real estate in this circle, so you could fit this type in there if you edited it, made it, fairly small. You could put it throughout, and then you could get a tighter graphic that way. Anyway, these are just a bunch of ideas. Let me know if you have any questions.